Hey everybody, what we're going to do today is show one simple method that will change your results drastically. If you follow a significant improvement in your knowledge on your trading, and also you're going to see an improvement in your trading. If you do this 30 days and you don't, please reach out to me. You can email me because I would be fascinated if you don't. You have to. I'll explain what it is. We're just going to do a very simple trading journal, but it's going to be granular. It's going to be a little different. It's not going to be focused on P&L and what's this number at the end of 30 days, because that's not going to tell us what we're doing right and wrong. What this is going to focus on is making us better. That's what this trading journal will do, and every time you implement this trading journal, it will do exactly that. It will make you better, right? That's the goal. The goal is to be as great as we possibly can as traders. And there's a lot of real significant benefits to this. First, it increases your discipline. You'll be able to control your actions and emotions. So we all know that we have emotions. Those emotions create an action. It's our job as a trader to recognize that and not let those emotions create certain action. You also want to realize that you need to develop your strengths and your weaknesses. You can't develop both of those if you don't know what they are. In other words, if you don't know that your worst day is Tuesday trading, how are you going to get better on Tuesdays? You need to focus on something as simple as that. You want to look at your good setups versus your bad setups. It's going to help you find your edge. It's going to give you consistency. It's going to help with risk management. You'll be able to calculate your average risk and average return. You'll be able to set goals. If you want a higher win rate, you set that as a goal. You want an average risk lower than what you currently have, you set that as a goal. Want to eliminate mistakes, set it as a goal. All of this, you can click in the description below, and there will be a template. This whole template's already mapped out for you. So all you have to do is just take the template and you can put it into Evernote, Excel, Google Docs. It doesn't matter. It's going to work in any template. Very simply, very first line we're going to start with is just date. That's it. We all know what the date is, and that's what we're going to put in there. This is very self-explanatory. We want to know what date we're trading in. Where you'll find this helpful is if you can't, let's say you kept this for a year, you'll be able to search and find your most profitable week. You'll be able to find your most profitable month, your most profitable quarter. Next is day. You're going to want to put the day in besides the date. The reason is because then you can sort by day and find your most profitable day and your least profitable day. Also, you're going to want to color code this. And by color coding it, you're going to be able to sort. When you can sort, you'll be able to see very clearly what your most profitable days are. They'll group together a lot clearer. It paints a picture. And there's a couple lines in here that we're going to go through that I think that are indicators that you should be color coding, and color code them on a scale, meaning that if you're going to do the days, you just do dark green the beginning of the week and you just make it lighter as the week goes on. This will actually give you shading and show you patterns that you're not going to see otherwise. Now, time is very important. Why is time important? Because then you're going to be able to sort specifically by what time you are most profitable. That would be very helpful for people to know if they were more profitable in the beginning of the day, or if they're more profitable at 12 o'clock, or where they're the least profitable. Let's say that you look at your performance over the 30 days that I'm recommending you do as a challenge, and then you see that between 9:30 and 10:30, you consistently lose money. Well, you may want to stop doing that, and this will help you. It will identify that. Or 9:30 to 10:30 is your best time, and for some reason at 12 o'clock you're not doing well. This will allow you to look at that and then make a more informed decision about how to trade and how to get better. Make sure you click in the link below, because that will give you a full template, and you can load that template into anything, Google Docs, Excel, Evernote. It'll be right in the descriptions. It's the first line. Now, shares. You want to see how many shares you have outstanding. And some people will say, well, why? I just want to look at my cost. There's a very specific reason for this. Some people are very good at trading large quantities of lower price stocks. Some people are not good at doing that and need to get better at it. And this will show you. So in other words, if you're buying Wish or Clove and trying to make $1 off of it, right, versus buying Google or bookings.com. Next is symbol, self-explanatory. You're going to want to put the symbol in there, but you can sort by it, and that'll tell you if you're going to be profitable or not for that particular stock. Now, this also works with crypto, Forex. It doesn't matter. If it's options, you're just going to have to be a little more specific in there, and then just quantify by starting with the letters call or put, and then what it is, and then you'll be able to to cycle through the data a little quick. This is long short, and that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Long short, all we're really looking for here is, are we long the stock or short the stock? You'll be able to sort through that and see if you're good at shorting or if you're better at just going long positions. Entry price is important. When we take the entry price and we times that by shares outstanding, we're obviously going to get our cost. Profit and loss price is self-explanatory. You want to know what price you close the trade out. So if it's lower and you're long, it's a loss. If it's higher, it's a profit. And you want to just be able to look at that, and you'll be able to eyeball this after a while and just see how well you're actually doing. You'll be able to take this data, throw it into a calculation, and actually be able to calculate the percentage that you're up, your percentage of gains, your percentage of losses, and that which we measure gets results. So target price, very simple. What you want to focus on with target price is, where did we think it was going when we entered the trade? In other words, when we bought this, we should have it in our head where we think it is going. And if we don't, that's something that we need to kind of take a look at and start working into our process. Please make sure you comment on this video. The reason I'm actually doing a trading journal is because I received so many comments, not only from the trading room, but from members that are either subscribed to the channel already, or some, I guess, that aren't even subscribed, but wanted to see what a really good trading journal would look like. And I looked at a bunch of them out there, and a lot of them are missing pieces. And we're about to get into some of the pieces that the majority are missing. We're going through the easy stuff right now. Here you are with proceeds and cost. This is simple. Shares, entry price, cost. Shares, exit price, proceeds. You're going to take these two numbers together, and you're going to be able to see the gain or the loss. And then you're going to be able to do all kinds of calculations with them. You can take the cost and the proceeds, and then you can see the difference in percentages. It's extremely helpful data. When you hear profit and loss, all you need to do is just type a P for profit if the trade was profitable, or an L for loss if the trade was not. That's it. That's all you're doing. Self-explanatory. Why? Because then you'll be able to sort by that. Again, I'd recommend that you color code this, because by color coding them, when you sort them, it'll become glaringly obvious without you sitting there trying to figure out how to do addition on letters. There's no reason for it. Just color code it and you'll be able to look at it and it'll become abundantly clear. And then you can actually sort by color and then just use the numbers to the left of it to determine those numbers and obviously divide it and see what percentage of win rate that you have. Now, by calculating your gain loss amount, all you're doing is trying to find a way to see how big the profit was or the loss was. And then you can sort by that and determine how you did. I would color code this, because if you have green and red lined up, when you flip them over, they're obviously going to align with the profit and the loss. But what this will do is it'll become glaringly obvious to you. And then you can just very quickly take all your gains or all your losses and then divide them by how many are outstanding. And then you're going to get your percentage of numbers. And that's going to give you a lot of information. And you may see some things that are outstanding, like you could see that you have a low win rate, but that you have big gains. And that might be okay. So it will really help you drill into the data by having that setup. We measure, and by measuring, we're able to quantify. Was this a moving average trade? Was this an RSI trade? In other words, use your technical indicators and create a list. I would recommend doing no more than 5. So if you can limit it to 5, you'll be able to look at this and get a better picture. I understand that it's a little harder to do that. So what I would say is to quantify things like RSI trade, moving average trade. In other words, what was that setup that got you in the trade? And by utilizing that and comparing it to your profit and loss, you'll be able to determine which setups actually gave you the greatest gains and which ones gave you the greatest losses. And by doing that, you'll be able to quantify that and make adjustments. And this is extremely powerful. And so are the next one we're going to go over. The next is called Idea Bank. Why is this one important? It's important because where did the idea generate? That's what you're trying to figure out. Where did this idea generate from? Now, did it generate from social media? Did it generate from either the Arete trading room or another trading room that you're in? Did you generate the idea yourself? Did you get the idea off of CNBC? Quantify it and come up with 5 specific groups. Only you know where you're getting your information from that's helping you make these trades. It could be from a newspaper, anything. But what you'll be able to do is look at this idea bank and then compare that to your profit and losses and your gain amounts and see where you're getting the best gains. When you start overlaying these, your setups, your idea bank, and seeing where the greatest gains and losses are, it can really multiply what you're doing because it becomes repetitive. It becomes a system. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for patterns here that you can replicate. Rank your trade. Why? Because when you rank it, it'll tell you what you really felt about that trade. You'll be able to look at that and say, okay, a 1 is the worst, a 5 is the best. Let's rank it 1 through 5. Let's look at this, and then we'll be able to sort in 30 days and say, well, we took a bunch of trades that we had 2s and 3s on. If we stuck with the trades that we ranked that were 4s and 5s, look how we did. In other words, you're giving yourself a grade. So that one loss that you should not have taken that you took because you waited too long because of your stop loss is going to be glaring to you. And you're going to have to actually mark that down. So that level of accountability is going to be there. Emotion. Emotion determines our actions. It shouldn't, but it does. So what we need to do is we need to be able to understand when we did a trade, what were we feeling? All this data, you're not going to be able to enter all this data before you do a trade. So you're going to do a trade, look at this at the end of the day, fill it in when you have time during the day, and then at the end of the day, you're going to want to look at this every single day for 30 days, and you're going to see that it changes. Now with emotions, I would put 5 emotions out there, and I'll give you the 5 big ones that you would look for. Depression. Am I depressed because I just took a huge loss? FOMO. Everybody's in this talking about it. I have to get in. Anger. Rage trading. Meaning I just took a loss, I need to get my money back. Clear-headed, meaning you thought and you sat down and you planned it out and it worked. Excited, yes, I did my homework, this is gonna work, or this one's really gonna go. Whatever it is, however you quantify excitement, that's how you would do it. So I would use those 5. Discipline. Discipline is going to be a ranking system. You're going to rank yourself 1 through 5, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best. That's how I would do it. Now, you want to see a lot of 1s, you don't want to see a lot of 5s. You'll be able to color code these and see where you're at. I would argue that you might want to just go from a green, yellow to red kind of system, right? Best to worst. That way you can look at the map and get an understanding of that. That will also help you determine where you should be in these trades and where you shouldn't be in these trades. And it will make you understand that are you following your process or you're not following your process. And maybe you'll be able to compare your discipline to your emotion and start seeing if there's a correlation between the two. So just to reiterate, you want to do this for 30 days. You want to map this out for 30 days. Look at it in 30 days. If you have questions about it, please reach out to me. There's a link below. Just simply click it and you'll get a free version of this that you can import into Google, Evernote, Windows, and use the template. What you're going to find is the color coding is going to help you greatly. But I wish you much success with it, and I would strongly recommend that you give it a try for 30 days.